All right, so we're doing a little bit more work here, getting the engine set. First off, first thing I want to highlight here is this battery is kind of old. You can see that there's a date etched in there, 8/12/06. So this battery is well past its life expectancy, especially since it only gets seasonal use and probably hasn't been maintained very well over the past 14 years. So that's definitely got to get taken care of. So what I'm working on now, I had cranked it over a little bit and it didn't want to go too well, so I hooked it up to the old battery charger and set it to, you can see there's 75 amp, that third one there in the top, which basically just gives it a whole bunch of juice. The other two, 2 amp is the trickle charge, 12 amp is fast charge-ish, and 75 amp is for starting, which on a little engine like this, really not that big of a deal. So I don't have it hooked up right now. This is kind of the nice thing about having a convertible is it's real small and you can just reach over the windshield and everything works nice. So what I want to do is just kind of show, first thing I do is I pulled all the plugs, basically just to get rid of compression. So what I'm going to do is just crank it over. I want to show you one of the other things that I like about this is I start cranking it over. You can see the oil gauge. So that's 50 pounds and it kind of runs right up there to 60. Basically what's happening is as the engine is cranking over, the oil pump is pushing oil all through the cylinders. The engine is rotating, the pistons are going up and down, crankshaft's going around. The fan is just connected by a straight, there's no clutch on the fan, so that's bolted right up to the crankshaft, and so you can see that that's turning, everything's going. So that's good. I'm pretty happy to see that there's 70 pounds of oil pressure, which is good. I'm also glad to see that that gauge works. So this here is our little itty bitty distributor, and what I did was I just marked them, just took a Sharpie and put 1, 2, 3, 4, just whichever cylinder going from, I just number them 1 at the front. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and whichever way they go. I pulled the plugs out, and because I want to kind of try to read the plugs, you can kind of see from the front they've got a little bit of issue, and I noticed it looks like number 4 is a little bit different, which I'm going to try to figure out what's going on with that. But basically when you pull the plugs, you try to read it, and there's charts that you can look at, and when you're really good you don't need the chart, but I'm not there yet. So I just marked them all 1, 2, 3, 4. The way this is set up, it's got 2 carburetors for 4 cylinders. So you can see carburetor number 1 feeds cylinder 1 and 2, and then carburetor 2 feeds cylinders 3 and 4. And there's a fun little linkage in between there that gets adjusted, and there's an equalizer tube of some sort. But here's that. So those are all the wins. Everything is going well. And then when I was pulling all the spark plugs, which is just like, you know, it's just like anything else. So this is 4 and this is 3, and then I pulled off number 2 and whoops. So that one just disconnected, and so this comes off of it. That just came right out of there, and you can see it just looks like a little bit of a screw, if you can see in there. Well, I think I figured out what the problem is, and I think if you can see right in there, made in England. I think that's the problem. So when I look, this is on cylinder 2, and it looks like cylinder 2 was burning, so there was contact being made there. So I might be able to might end up ordering parts. I'm going to see if I can wedge that back in there and just see if we can get her going. But just kind of give you a little bit of update of what's going on, and I'll see where we go from there.